Alright, guys, and we're going to start. Welcome back. It is a Tuesday today, actually, only because I'm doing it a day early. Kind of, almost lost my mic there. Have no choice. You know, Texas weather be weird sometimes, expecting like a storm or whatever coming through. But yeah, as the description caption says, we're going to do character design station today. Let me get there. Yeah. So I guess quick like basic around this character. This character is canonically dead. She's supposed to be dead. She's not. She refused to stay down, and that's fine. She is what I call in my universe a reaper. That's what they do. Um, they are they are basically somebody who dies a painful death, and they are vengeful. They didn't finish. They didn't accomplish what they wanted to do. And what your question about Dobby? Also, thanks for tuning in. What do you mean about? What was the question about Dobby? I don't know the question, ma'am. Excuse me. I feel like there's You should probably explain what you mean by that. That or I didn't get to the end of the video, which is my fault. What brush should I use for her again? Was it Gislick? I can't remember what I used for her. But yeah, basically we're gonna use she is a gunslinging character. She's a bounty hunter. That's what it is. I do not remember your voice message. I'm sorry. I do not remember. Please refresh my memory, ma'am. By a quick, turn it. Just like refresh my memory for me. I greatly appreciate it. If you did. Because if you know me, my memory's as long as my pinky toe. Okay. I want to make sure that was the right texture. It'd be like that sometimes. Awesome. Thanks for joining the stream, by the way. I was live for like 3 minutes. You were like, hey, I found you. I'm coming. Also, ignore my stubby fingers. I hate doing fingers. But like I said, like the description said, this is just like I'm just designing her character right now. I'm not really focused on like getting her hand correct right now, like her fingers and stuff, because I just want to get her overall design feel down, which is what I've been trying to do for the past like 2 days with this buff woman. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Are you guys sharing the same device? I mean, they can always jump in and talk. I don't bite, I promise. I don't bite, I promise. I promise. But yeah, I'm just like I said, just designing her freaking character because this is the iterations. Oh yeah, I hate hands and fingers. Yeah, yeah, I hate hands and fingers. I don't mind feet though, because feet are usually covered up. Like 9 times out of 10, they're covered up. Which she's wearing boots, right? You're not gonna see her toesies, okay? You're just not gonna see her toes. Um, but these are two different iterations of her face. I wasn't sure if I wanted to have undercut locks, not undercut locks, like undercut hairstyle with locks on top, or if I wanted to make her just like be shaved and give her tattoo markings, which is why these markings they don't make any sense. I was literally just I couldn't think of anything else, okay? So that's why. But I ended up sticking with the lock design because I just felt like, um, okay, first of all, we don't bring up that history. That was high school. Shut up. But I wasn't sure what I wanted her hair to look like. But now I do. She's gonna have undercut locks. It just fits her character the most, I would say. And if it happened, it's because you probably deserved it, okay? I will not apologize for my past misgivings when I was a stupid teenager, okay? Didn't know any better. Well, I knew better, but I chose not to, okay? We're not going down memory lane right now. We already have the high school reunion, I think, what? Next year. We have a high school reunion next year. Do you realize that? Do you realize the insanity of that? That means we've been out of school. We've been out of high school for like 10 years. Holy crap. And some people we know still never left high school, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, like I said, she's a bounty hunting character. I'm gonna do one or two more iterations of her clothing, probably tonight. Um, duplicate that again. Um, just so we can get a feel for her. I do have like, I did take pictures of like some weaponry for her. She's a very much close range kind of person. She does have brass knuckles. I have to add them to her design. But she also, like, her main weapon of choice is the shotgun because of its close range and how much damage it can do to a person. So the shotgun is like her main weapon of choice. In her little robe thing that she wears, 1, 3, and 5. Oh, you mean her? Okay, hold on. You mean 1, 3, and then 5? Is that what you mean? You were frozen? That's not good. There is a slight delay on my end, though. It's very small, but I'm sorry you froze. I hope you unfreeze. Oh, yep. Yep. It froze on my end as well. I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully I can get it back. That is weird. Okay, I can still see, hopefully you can still see movement because on my computer, it's not showing me the red bars that normally indicate that, hey, there's a problem. So all I can assume is that there's a connection issue maybe, but I actually don't know. If it goes bad, like if it goes out, it goes out because like I said, in my area in Tejas, down south or whatever, we are expected to have bad weather coming to us. It's supposed to be really bad, like I think tomorrow they said. So if it goes out, that's why. And I think I'm pretty sure we're entering hurricane season as well. That's also probably why there's like issues with internet connection. And Twitch is probably just responding accordingly because of, internet. And they're on servers and other fun stuff. Why did I make this part of her shirt so big? Her boobs aren't that big. They're really not. Okay. There we go. That's better, actually. Uh-oh. Hopefully it caught up. Like I said, weather issues. It's on my computer this time, for now at least. But, weather issues. So if you have any issues and you have to leave the stream and come back later, or if you won't be able to watch the stream at all this time, you can always just come back and watch one of the VODs or whatever when it's done. I have no qualms about that. I understand how it be sometimes. So, like, do what you gotta do. If you froze, you froze. But I'm going to continue to sketch her out and probably discuss her design overall just a little bit more. So she does have bullet wounds from when she was unalived. She has 3 specifically. These other scratch marks on her body, you won't really see them unless she's naked, but I do want to draw them in anyway as a reminder to myself because, again, I will have to draw this character in other forms wearing other clothing. She's not always going to be covered up. Things happen in stores, right? Right. Crap. What is this? So, like I said, she's a gunslinging character. That's kind of her thing. She is canonically dead, or she's supposed to be dead. And like I was saying, Reapers are just people who are dead, who whose spirits don't pass on because either their death was really tragic and brutal and they're angry, or they're you're filled with deep regret that your soul just can't like let go. So you come back reanimated. It doesn't really specify how many years later you come back, but you come back. And this character specifically, she came back 10 years after her death, right? Um, so everyone around her has aged 10 years, obviously, because that's how time works. But she is kind of frozen in time. There have been some advances. Now, in this world, Reapers are. Everyone knows what a Reaper is, and there are telltale signs for them. Now, when she was alive, no one really knew how to handle them or take care of them well. But in the past 10 years, their technology has advanced pretty far, right? It was already advancing to begin with, but since she's a bounty hunter, she's always on the go. She's not really like paying attention to a lot of the technological advances, because to her, if the gun still shoots and the car still goes, she doesn't care how it does it. She's a very simple person. But now she's entered a world where technology has advanced far faster than she ever could imagine. There are cybernetic beings walking around who are executioners. Now, executioners are a very small portion of the population. Think of it as an advanced police force. That's what an executioner is, and that's what they do. They are an advanced police force. Um, they their job is to just take out executioners, or take not execution, to take out reapers, right? And anyone can be a reaper. I do mean anyone. Anyone can become a reaper if the circumstances are met. There are instances where there are some, sadly, children who do come back as reapers, um, and most times the children just want to be happy and make their parents happy, so that's their purpose, and that's what they do. And when they do pass the second time, which is their official passing, they usually just go to where their soul is meant to go, to the afterlife, right? So since you have, and the reason executioners exist is because reapers, specifically adult reapers, they come when they are resurrected, when they come back, they are much stronger than they were before. Like your any talent or skill you had before is amplified by your reaper status, because your spirit is vengeful. It's kind of like running on adrenaline the whole time you're alive again. So they have extra strength because of that. And since she was a bounty hunter, she's much faster, stronger, and way more accurate with the weapon, and way more hostile in a fight than she was when she was alive. Uh, and even though not all Reapers were bounty hunters beforehand, obviously, um, you can still like do damage as a Reaper, as a full-grown adult with no fighting skills. Which is why when the executioners are called in, that's why executioners are called in. Because executioners, they're designed to be able to go against and withstand the strength of a now full-fledged Reaper, right? Now, I bet you're wondering, what are the telltale signs of Reaper in this universe? Well, the telltale signs of Reaper, basically, if you've ever seen somebody who's blind, or a recently deceased person's eyes, which I guarantee most people have not seen, because trust me, it's very haunting to look at. They have that glossy, lifeless look to their face, to their eyes specifically, because again, they're not supposed to be here. Um, and that's how you can tell a Reaper from a regular person. Now, most Reapers, when they come back, if they have the chance to, they will try to cover that up with either sunglasses or even contacts if they can. Why is my stream lagging so bad? I'm about to have a heart attack, guys. Okay, I don't know. Oh, tell them I said hello. I'm glad you guys are back. It's kind of, I don't know, I'm just gonna chalk it up to weather at this point. So yeah, so since she's a Reaper now. She's much stronger. Most of them try and cover it up with contacts. Yeah, you're not the only one going in and out of range. It's doing the same thing for me on my end. Where on my okay, that's fine. On my end, whenever I'm looking at like my studio live, I see it's pretty smooth, and It's like a split second delay, but it's fine. But on my other phone, I can kind of see like, because I use it to moderate. I use my other phone to moderate my chats to make sure no one's doing anything stupid. Obviously, so I'm the only moderator here. Um, it was showing me unable to connect, and it'll connect again, unable to connect again. It's going back and forth, back and forth. So I'm just kind of just letting it do its own thing at this point. If I go out, I go out. If I don't, I don't. We're gonna have a good old time, guys. But yeah, so the character who's an executioner, her name is Hanako, and she was the one I was designing or doing the somber upgrade stream about. That's who she is. Um, now now I know you're probably asking, how does a executioner deal with Reaper? Easily, you just kill them. Even though Reapers are much stronger, faster, and they can heal quite quite faster than a normal person can, they're still a person essentially, so they can still be taken out like any other person. If you shoot her in the head, that's it. Like there's no, she can't recover from that, right? She's dead. But they are just tough as nails to kill sometimes. That's the thing. They're just difficult to get around. And since she's a bounty hunter, she does have gear. Like she does wear a helmet when she goes out to protect herself, just like the executioners do. Um, so it's kind of like a who can outlast who situation. And um, and the executioners, their bodies are, hello, how are you? How are you doing this Tuesday? We're trying to keep from having technical issues. The weather. I appreciate the emo. I freaking love that emo. It's actually great. I love it. Yeah, so that's kind of how they deal. The executioners, their spine is kind of like, it's still there, but it's covered up by metal to give power to their now full functioning reproductive, not reproductive, their full functioning system. You're welcome. Their like their arms are, their senses are enhanced. Yes, please make more sense. Their systems their senses, sorry, their senses are enhanced because they have the cybernetic limbs now. They have their brain, a portion of it is also cybernetic because they have they can, their eyes are replaced with like cameras and shit and motion sensing, and some of their eyes, for depending on the level you are as an executioner, can actually do seeking, right? Which is an interesting thing because Reapers, they produce a lot of heat. Like their bodies are warmer than normal when they come back, and it's not, no one really knows why that is, but it's just a common thing they've noticed. So they send them in if they are unsure if you're a Reaper or not, but most times you can tell if someone is a Reaper or not if you just follow the news and you know they passed away and they're walking around. You kind of know that, oh, you're not supposed to be here. You kind of you it's past your bedtime. Like go see Jesus or something. So most people just follow the news if they can. Other people don't really care. They're just like, they're getting a second chance. I don't really see the issue here. Which is kind of the question I want to pose to people who do read the story, is like, who is in the, are executioners in the right or the wrong to do what they're doing? You know, because yes, Reapers are people who have passed away and they're supposed to stay in the ground. But if by a slim chance they come back, who are you to say if they get that second chance or not? And that's kind of what I want to like focus the story on. And of course, the whole reason why she is she's a Reaper in any way is because her lover is the one who killed her. Yes, I'm doing one of those love stories that's fucked up. No, she does not have an actual romantic partner. Okay, well, I take it back. She kind of does, kind of doesn't. There's one guy she is close to. He's friends with her. He's also like her doctor. He makes sure she's okay. His clinic is not mobile, so but she travels to his clinic often, and he will travel with her from time to time, right? Like he has people working for him at the clinic, so whenever he's gone working with her, someone can watch his company and make sure everything's fine. His secretary has no idea that he's helping a Reaper. She finds out later, but she has no idea for most of the story. He just kind of leaves her in charge, and he does like pay her more because she's doing more than what she signed up for. Oh, so she doesn't really care. So they kind of have a relationship or whatever. It's mostly like a mutual exchange. Like I pay I pay you for this. Oh yeah, yeah. When he finds out, oh yeah, yeah. He's it's kind of like he's like, well, I don't really care. Like he wants her to be safe, right? And in the beginning, he didn't want anything to do with her, but he kind of was like, I am a doctor. I did take an oath to like help people, and you are still a person, even if you're supposed to be dead. I'll help you out. So he kind of like joined her on her basic revenge story against the guy who killed her, and they kind of begin to fall for one another in a way. But he knows he can't really be with her. They both know they can't actually be with each other because Reapers still they have a short shelf life. They only have an X amount of years while they're when they come back a second time to do what they want to do to basically put their soul at rest. Um, so he's just enjoying the time he has with her, even though she's constantly putting herself in danger because going after the guy she's going after, who used to be her captain, by the way. He was in charge of her group. She was second in command. She, could die. He knows this, so he just cherishes every moment he can get with her. And and she understands this too, even though she knows and recognizes that he makes her happy. She's like, I can't be with you because I'm going to die soon again. So it's a very strained relationship that causes a lot of arguing, and he does end up dealing with it and let her go when her time does come. But the guy that started all of this is a bitch, and I've named him Octave. Yes, I know it's sad, nobody wins, but what are you gonna do? The only person that kind of wins in the end is our main girl Imani. As long as she gets what she wants, I do not care. She got what she wants in the end. Okay? She got her revenge in a fucked up way, but she got her goddamn revenge, okay? That's all that matters. Our boy will find love with somebody else someday. She encourages him to find love with somebody else someday. And of course he makes the comment, yes, they have that kind of relationship. Yes, at first it just started off where they were like, they did do the hanky panky and turn yourself around, um, and then it kind of blossomed into something more. Okay, so yes, they do have sex. Yes, they do quite a few times actually, and it's usually after an argument that that the guy accidentally would start by asking a question. I know, but well, cause he's much since he's a doctor, he doesn't have, and he's a human, he's a normal person. He doesn't have the physical strength to fight her, because like I said, Reapers when they come back, they're physically stronger than they were before, and their skills are amplified. And she used to be a bounty hunter, so you can see how this will be a very one-sided and quick fight. So he just kind of argues with her in a from a philosophical perspective. It kind of makes her mad because she doesn't want to hurt him, because he's one of the few people in this society that actually cares about her more than what she is. But so she doesn't actually hurt him, but they just kind of argue a lot on a philosophical level, and it usually results in them doing stuff, together. Because again, she ain't got nobody else but him. Honestly, she has nobody else but the freaking doctor guy. She ends up finding some more of her comrades who thought she just ran away and left the group after an argument with their commander. Now, they quickly find out he just freaking killed her because his wife told him to. I mean, yeah. In the beginning, she does kind of make the comment where she was like, I mean, what else? I mean, why are you mad at me? You used me for sex. You are a single guy who recently got out of a bad relationship. Why do you think I'm having sex with you? That's kind of how they are in the beginning. It's very straight to the point. And he's kind of like, damn, I mean, you're right, but fuck. At least treat me kind of normal. And she's like, no, fuck that. You don't get any of that. The fuck? But yeah, she never really wants him to be hurt. Sometimes he does get in the way of the mission, and he does accidentally get hurt sometimes. because he tries to help. He be pulling a Jinx from Arcane, okay? He tries to help. It doesn't always go right. He tries, and she acknowledges that he tries, but she's like, I'm gonna need you to stick with your profession. You are a doctor. I'm a bounty hunter. I'm a fighter. You're not. Please sit your ass down before you get hurt. Oh, and the name of the guy that betrayed her, his name is Octavius. So, there you go. Do with that with what you will. That's our boy's name. His name's fucking Octavius. Alright? His wife's name's Naomi. And then they had 2 kids. I ain't gonna get into how they lost one, but they had 2 kids at one point. I don't know. Now they have a kid and a half. I'm sorry. He's shown her what a doctor can do with the precision, alright? In more ways than one. She does not complain. Not even a little bit. Actually, I was talking to my mom about this. She had asked me, is it possible for somebody who's a Reaper to come back and have kids? And I'm like, yes, you can. The child will be a normal child. There will not be a Reaper hybrid of any sort, because it's essentially just 2 humans having a baby. It's essentially what it is. You don't get any buffs if your mom was a Reaper, your dad's not. If anything, you don't want to tell people one of your parents is a Reaper, because you kind of get shunned from society, because to the society you are an abomination, because you came from a parent was dead at one point. So if you have a parent who's a Reaper, that'd be cool, but don't say it out loud. Keep it to yourself, at least until this society advances past that stigma and they get a philosophical awakening, hey, they're just people, bro. So yeah, that's kind of, if you got a parent like that, don't tell your friend, okay? Because if that parent is still around and they haven't passed yet, and you tell somebody and they tell an executioner, well, you can kiss your family goodbye. Well, you can at least kiss your Reaper parent goodbye, because they are not going to make it after that. They're not. And you will be responsible for indirectly killing your parent a second time. Which is fucked up. I didn't even mention the shades. Okay, so in this universe, there are shades, and most people know what a shade is, right? And I'm kind of reusing certain words and changing them meaning a little bit, because Reaper is always associated with the Grim Reaper and blah blah blah. So in this universe, a shade is just a Reaper who did not accomplish what they wanted to accomplish, and they just kind of died again. Which happens a lot if you're killed by an executioner. If an executioner kills you, there's a big chance you will become a Reaper, because you didn't want to die yet, and 2, you probably didn't finish what you wanted to finish, so you're kind of just screwed. And a shade is a spiritual entity that can't really die, which sucks. You can't be exorcised. You can't be exorcised. You can't be killed. That's how you kill demons or whatever. Their form of exercising a shade literally is just where they make it dormant, right? They put it back to sleep for quite a couple years, and then the shade just comes back. And shades can be hostile. They can be dangerous to people. A lot of the times, shades are newly formed shades, like a Reaper who just recently passed, are usually either very angry and territorial, or they cry a lot. They weep, so they become a weeping shade. And a weeping shade, you will hear them. You will hear them motherfuckers. You may not see them, but you definitely will hear a weeping shade. And shades can show their visibility. They can either hide themselves, make themselves invisible to you, like a ghost or poltergeist, or they can reveal themselves to you if they so wish. But most shades keep their distance. Most shades don't talk to people unless they know you and your family, right? But most shades don't. And I was kind of writing in a story where they do meet a shade who's been a shade for over 200 years. Yes, Reapers have been a thing in this universe for a long time. And they're kind of they kind of make jokes about humans, and they kind of just came to terms with yeah, I'm not gonna see the afterlife or anyone I know, because like shades cannot move on. You're kind of like doomed to walk the rest of the earth, which is very depressing, right? So that's kind of how they operate. And what our girl here is trying to avoid becoming. She's trying to avoid becoming a shade. So, but yeah, her design looks pretty good so far. This is the first iteration, which is why I captioned this one character design. First iteration of her design. I'm gonna probably add like a trench coat, and I do have to add a bulletproof vest to her stomach because yes, you always want to be protected, especially when you're out there looking for the person who killed you, right? You know. So I gotta put her freaking vest on real quick. I actually had to Google a bulletproof vest because I had no idea what the fuck they looked like. Like I did not know. I was very I was surprised at how well, I wasn't really surprised how thick they were. I was surprised at their minimal design, at how like minimal these things are. I think that's what surprised me most is the fact that they have this. Their design is so simple, but yet effective. Right? It's great, effective but simple. I love it. It speaks to me as a person because that's exactly how I am. I'm effective but simple. Mm-mm. Yeah. Okay. I gotta finish her other shoe real quick though, because after that, I have to. I already duplicated her body. Yeah, I duplicated it already. We're gonna lock it. You're gonna turn it off. You already duplicated her body. Remember, guys, always duplicate your original copies. I already have like an original down here. If you guys can see, this is my original catalog, hence the word originals. I know you like it, Picasso. I like it too. I covered my mouth and it still came out. I'm sorry. So yeah, I was wondering why her freaking lines were so thick, or her body and stuff, and it's because I duplicated the second layer and didn't like hide it because I just forgot to hide it. Y'all like the music? It's lofi because you know that's what I play whenever I stream. I have to play lofi. It's great. It's calming. It makes my brain go brr. I love it. Ah! I moved it. Stop it. Okay. And I'm just gonna do string. Oh no. Okay. Criss, cross, criss, cross. All right. Criss, cross, criss, cross. Fuck. 5 out of 10. Okay. First of all, it's like, what is this one? Hold on. Yeah, chilled beats for 12 hours. We're doing calm, okay? I don't want to do Netflix because he's, I like Netflix. Like, don't get me wrong, I freaking love Netflix's music. I just don't want to play it while I'm streaming because I get distracted, and I kind of just I prefer instrumental music whenever I'm drawing something, especially if I'm like trying to finish drawing something. Instrumental just helps my brain better. Oh, for my burp. Oh, I guess it was delayed. I'm sorry. My burp was actually covered most. I was trying to cover my burp, okay? I was trying to be polite, and it came out anyway, and I wasn't trying to, so I feel bad. But I'm not trying to do her shoes right. Yeah, anime openings are good. They're really good to jam to and listen to, but I don't want to like get in trouble with the anime openings, you know? I don't feel like getting flagged for playing like 2 seconds of like, I don't know, freaking Tokyo Ghoul or something. Yes, better out than in. Absolutely. Let's just see. And her hand looks a little weird, but again, we're not doing perfection here. It's good enough. It's getting the point across. Probably put some bandages on her wrist or something. Nah, don't need bandages. She still fights. I'm gonna give her some fucking gloves. That's what she needs. She needs like them. Should I do fingerless gloves? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Should I do? Cause okay. Don't ask me why the glove looks like this. The more you know. Ah. Okay. I may do fingerless gloves. Okay, fingerless. Okay, that's what I was thinking. But then I was just like imagining her like with the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, how would that work for her fingers? You know what I'm saying? Her hand looked weird. I know. I was sketching it last night, and I was like, it gets the point across. You know, that's all that matters to me. All right, and get this big ass glove. I erased all of that. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. She look at her. I've birthed a freaking monster. And you know what? I'm fine with that. She's great. She's beautiful. She'll fuck you up. Hey, she probably would like crack her knuckles or just to do it, like just to strike fear into hearts of everyone. Just be like, hey, you know, I ain't got a big patience. Just like fucking like crack her knuckles or something. Be like, yeah, what you want? And then I don't know. She's very much a my way or the highway person. So I can imagine her cracking her knuckles to get what the fuck she wants. Okay, now I'm gonna erase. What is this? Oh shit! I almost fell. I don't have an armrest on my chair, so I almost fell. Eh. Give me 1 second. I gotta freaking. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, sorry. One of my friends was asking me something and I needed to reply, but I forgot what I said her. Wow, said her earlier, and I almost forgot the most important thing. Her freaking, her freaking ammo belt. Yeah, she's one of those people. She wears an ammo belt. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. I actually had to have my partner pose for this. I'm like, hey babe, come here. He's like, what? I'm like, I need you to pose. He's like, why? I'm like, because gun. I need you to pose with the shotty. Okay, because this character uses a shotgun. And he's just like, okay. He posed for me. I appreciate him. I had to freaking tell him how to pose twice. And he was just like, oh, I get it now. So, I appreciate his ability to help me while posing. I appreciate it. These are like actually not bad looking shoes. Coming from somebody who doesn't draw shoes a lot. I'm on the wrong layer. What am I doing with my life? Get your ass up here to layer 18. Thank you. Actually, wait. We're gonna just erase that a little bit and we're gonna just push it in right there. Okay, so this has been on my mind for like a week now. All right, and I'm actually glad I decided to stream a day early because I didn't want to forget. So I was at work, and this is not work related. I promise, it's not work related. Story will be later on tonight. But I was at work, and I was thinking to myself, like, hey, have you ever noticed how in like a lot of teen drama series, whenever it's about like teens growing up and going to college, not college, like they're in high school or whatever, and it's supposed to be like coming of age and what teenagers deal with. Why do a lot of them have a habit of showing teenagers having sex? Am I the only one that wonders that? Like I understand what they're doing, you know, the whole, oh, this is the true story thing or whatever, trying to make it as real as possible, which is generally speaking not bad. But I always found it weird that we had to see it. I mean, like, you can imply it maybe. I mean, there are shows that imply that the two characters are having relations and that's causing issues, without having to show it. I always also wondered why is it's always like a lot of the teen drama shows like revolve around like um sexual relations or like assault of some sort, which isn't in itself is not a bad thing. I'm not bashing art writers for doing this because it's something that a lot of teens go through. I mean, we were all teenagers at some point, right? Right. I always thought it was weird that like it would be the main focus for like the entire show, right? I guess. And then like just showing it, I always thought it was weird. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't really watch a lot of teen drama shows anymore. I kind of just stopped. I don't even really watch real people anymore. Not even gonna lie. I would stick to mostly animated shows personally, because I just I just don't like the repetition for a lot of shows with real people in it. It gets boring to me. I mean, there's like one show I saw, it was called Sex Ed, that a friend of mine showed me. And the show is, I think, was placed in Great Britain. And it still touched on the same topics, the, um, the risk of teen pregnancy, the bullying, cyberbullying, characters coming out, the whole nine. The thing that made that show different to me, and I actually was okay with it, was the fact that it showed the consequences and the results of like all of the teens' actions, right? And I feel like they discussed most of the things I saw on that show in a very mature manner, you know. And it's a mature manner, and they broke it down, and explained it to teens in a very understandable way that you can understand. Like, okay, you know. And again, it's not bashing teen shows in general. I just always thought it was a little weird how they went about certain things. Like, I guess you could say Riverdale's one of them. Tried watching Riverdale. I got confused. Didn't know where the hell the story was going. I didn't think the writers knew where the story was going. Excuse me. And it always makes you think of like how, like, yeah, kids, they're growing up. They're gonna be exposed to a lot of things. I just feel like there's a right there's a right way to have these nuanced discussions in a kids show, or show about teen characters, compared to ways that aren't as effective, right? Like, maybe that's just how I see it. Like, I guess I'll give another example. I know people have talked about this one, To Hell and Back. It's the TV show 13 Reasons Why. And I bring this show up because I actually had to freaking read the book for an English class in high school. I hated that class because of that fucking book. I hated it. I didn't like the messaging. And then when I actually sat down and started watching the show, because people I knew were watching it, I'm not going to say it glorified mental health. I'm not going to say that. I know that there's some specialists who can say that. I'm not a mental health provider or whatever, so I cannot say that personally. However, I do believe they didn't go about it the right way. Like, I remember reading that there were some either some organizations or whatever that came in contact with the writers saying, hey, you're not really like, hey, I understand you want to talk about how, you know, bullying can impact a teenager's mental health and make them want to, you know, unalive themselves, but there's a way you can go about it, and you're not going about it the right way, and that is specifically like showing how the main character basically passed away. Now that scene made me feel all sorts of uncomfortable. And it made my arms itch personally, specifically my left arm. Because I've been where this part's so personal. I've been where that main character has been before. So seeing her do that, it always, like, just seeing blades on skin always makes my left arm tingle. Specifically, just thinking about it now makes my left arm tingle. And I felt like that was, you know, an appropriate way to do it. Now I get that they put warnings and trigger warnings in there, but it's like, you can tell an emotional story without having gore in it like that. You don't have to do that, you know. And the type of show it was, it's a drama. It's not a horror, right? You don't have to have that in there. It doesn't fit the genre personally. Unless you're mixing drama with something else, then I guess that makes more sense. But if it's just drama by itself or a teen story, you don't really, I personally think you need that in it. It just left a very, very sour taste in my mouth and very poor portrayal. And of course, the writers to this day will defend their work, which, okay, defend it all you want. That's fine, but be open to criticism. you know. And then after that season, when she did pass, we saw the tapes, and then we followed what's his name, whatever the character, the main character now, his name is. She's a ghost now. And I'm like, why the fuck is she a ghost? Like, and it, what? Like, I think our main character is dealing with some psychosis. He needs to get some mental help. That's not that's not a something you usually do. Um, and and having the girl who did pass as the ghost in the story was really weird, because like I don't understand the messaging they were trying to send, because in the book she's no ghost. she's just she's just passed. The only things we have about her life, how she felt like no one helped her, were from the tapes. And I have some issues with the book anyway, but this is about media and TV shows, not book. So it felt very weird to me that they had her be a ghost in the story where she's dead, right? It didn't make any sense to me um that they had her be a ghost in the story. And like it felt like the messaging was, oh, if only he would have loved her hard enough, she would still be here. And it's like, no, that's not how mental health works. Most times, like, it's not how that works, right? Especially if you're at that level where you just want to end it. That's like that. It felt like she was trying to blame him for it, which I don't think that's okay to do. Like, putting the blame on somebody who had really nothing to do with what happened to her, or hope, like, for most of the story, was very off-putting and made me not like what the writers were trying to do. Maybe not like the character either. Like Iron, like it didn't make me like her very much. And we're supposed to be her. This is supposed to be her story, right? And then after season 1, the guy who kind of, you know, assaulted her in the story, he doesn't. I don't think he went to jail. I think he was like went off scot free. The story ends for season 1, and then it came back with like a murder mystery and some other stuff, and I don't know. Stories don't need multiple seasons to be finished. Sometimes you just need one. Like, you just need one. You don't need like 500. But that's just my observation, I guess. But another thing in like when it comes to media portrayals, I always found interesting is the romantic genre. Now, I am going to out myself here. I don't really read much romance. At least, I take it back. I don't read a lot of straight people romances. Okay. I don't read a lot of straight people romances. I don't really watch a lot of straight people romance movies. At least not anymore. I remember watching a lot with my mom growing up. My mom loves like romance stuff. That's her whole genre. Did it freeze again? Oh no. I think I froze again. Oh crap, I'm frozen again. Great. Well, we're gonna keep going until the VOD finishes. I have to reload my other freaking phone because it's not picking me up anymore. Oh, that's bullshit. Well, we're gonna keep going. I want to freaking finish her design at least. I think I am finishing her design actually. At least in this iteration. Ah! Now it's picking up. Awesome. Great. We're gonna have to turn this back on so I can see her. I can get her ammo belt actually, which is like right there. Go Power Ranger. Don't ask why I'm saying that. But that's just how I feel when it comes to that show. Personally, that's just me, and that's just one issue I can think of when it comes to shows about teenagers that are a little weird. To me, at least. Lower your opacity some more. Bring you up. Um, but it's just me. Um, I gotta freaking mute this part. Yeah, I do. But as I was saying, when it comes to romances always like they kind of annoy me. A lot of like the common romance shows because a lot of them have similar tropes. Um, like they may be out of fashion now, and I hope so. I freaking hope they're out of fashion now. Basically, where the main girl or the love interest, she's like either timid. She's either a timid person. Oh, you feel that? Okay, cool. Thanks. She's either a timid person she's a timid. I can't say the words. A timid person has had very few sexual partners, or she's petite and short. like those are usually the common tropes we see. Um, and and the guy she goes for is not always the guy that's bad for her, like the bad boy, because she can change him, which you can't. I'm sorry, ladies. You can't. If he's a dick now, he'll be a dick for the rest of his life. Like, you can't change that behavior. I hate to break it to you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Trust me, I've been there. I learned my lesson. Don't do it. If he's a dick to you, if he's a dick to his mom, he'll be a dick to anybody. The guys do be clueless, yes, especially if the guy that she's interested in is a friend of hers, right? A close friend, maybe not a childhood friend, but like they've known each other for years. Maybe they like went to the university together, or whatever, and she's been pining for him, or vice versa. If the main character is a dude, he's clueless that the love interest for him has been pining for him, or you have it where the girl is the main character and she's clueless and also ditzy, and doesn't realize that her child best friend, he's being there for her, giving her relationship advice because he wants to be the guy. So like usually the main character is usually just clueless over who's pining for them, and it makes me mad, especially if they go for the guy or the person who's not for them, but they still go for them. You're like, no, your childhood friend is right. They are right here. Please, please, please pick a childhood friend. I will murder you if you don't. Or they have like if the or there was one I actually saw recently. I can't think of the name of the movie, and it's a romance movie. Okay, there's a couple romance movies I've seen recently that make me cry thinking about it. Okay, so we all remember the great years of Twilight, right? Right. We also all remember the multiple spin-off movies that came out that were fan fiction based around Twilight, right? Right. We all remember 365 Days and 50 Shades, right? Right. Cool. We're on the same page. Awesome. Great. I hate all of those. Every single one. Twilight's a prime example of bad romance. Okay. Both of the guys and I'm bringing this back to present day, don't worry. Both of the guys in Bella's situation were crappy, okay? In the books, I know I love Jacob too. In the books, Jacob was actually way worse in the books. They made him actually a bit more appealing in the movie, but like personality wise, not appearance. In the book, he's actually supposed to be like a tall brown man apparently. Okay, so you do know. All right, so you understand my frustration with the yeah. Okay, so once I actually found out that Jacob was still an asshole and he was very much overly protective, which Edward was too. I know you're a werewolf. It's okay. I agree with you. Uh, Jacob was very possessive and very territorial of Belle, to the point where he imprinted on her child, which we don't talk about that. Um, Edward was no better. Like the biggest red like I hate whenever romance stories try to make the possessive nature appealing. It's usually not. Like, if your partner is protective of you to where they don't want anyone to freaking do you wrong or hurt you, they see the BS someone is pulling and trying to hurt you, that's one thing. That's looking out for your partner. It becomes a whole other story. Oh, goddamn it, out again. Are you catching up, bitch? Okay, it's catching up. It's one thing if, like, your partner realizes someone is pulling some wool over your eyes and they're trying to be a dick and they're trying to protect you from that. That's one thing. It's another story if you have a partner like Edward Cullen, who, to keep you from seeing your friend Jacob, will do something to your truck so you can't see your friend. Yeah. That shit's weird. That's not okay. That's some, like, I will murder you and myself if you try to leave me nature. That's not okay. And it's weird that, like, so many movies try to make that acceptable, right? Did we forget that Edward was watching her while she slept? Did we forget that part? Did we all just close our eyes and forget that part? Because I sure as hell didn't. I had to watch that damn movie for another English class and then rewrite the ending. I wrote it where everybody died in the end. But does, like, no one see the issue with that shit? And then what didn't help is the fact that, like, she bro, I try not to remember that. I don't want to remember that scene, okay? It's still weird to this day. I don't care what anybody says, it's still weird. But because of the popularity of Twilight, right? Which, if you were a fan of Twilight, I knew like a lot of girls were fans of Twilight when I was in middle school. That's fine. Just recognize that your media has issues, right? A lot of issues. Now, since that movie came out, we've had multiple movies that have turned it that were originally books that were started as fan fiction based around Twilight. Twilight was our flashpoint when it comes to fucking modern day media and romance. Okay, you can't convince me it was not. It was our fucking flashpoint. So we're gonna go back to 50 Shades of Grey, which I know everybody knows about that damn movie. Everybody knows about that movie, that series, that trilogy. We all know it. We saw the merchandise in Spencer's. We know it. So in 50 Shades of Grey, basically, imagine Edward Cullen, but with more money, even though the Cullens were already wealthy, right? That's what Christian Grey is. He doesn't know. He doesn't make love. He fucks. I can never. I'm serious. I'm sorry. I had to do it. That one line in that movie always takes me out every single time because it's the funniest shit to me. Because it's cringy. It's like it makes you think of like a 14-year-old kid trying to like write a smut book, and that's what he thought would be funny. Like, it's or sexy. It's like, it's not. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's not. And yeah, he is creepier because in fucking 50 Shades of Grey, this motherfucker knew where she lived before she told him, right? She got drunk at a party. Her friend was hitting on her, which, by the way, her friend probably was the better option. Even though the only time we really see them interact, her friend's name was Jose, was when he was trying to, like, kiss her while she was drunk. Which, by the way, it's not okay to do, especially if they're verbally saying no. That's not okay, right? Right. But in this instance, it's kind of like the Jacob Edward situation. It's kind of like, yeah, Jose did cross the line that one time. But, like, I'd rather have Jose than this motherfucker that has my social security number on file, which, yes, he does. Christian Grey had her social security number on file. Actually, he had the information and medical records of all of his subs on file, which he still kept, by the way. And I remember speaking to people saying, oh, I want a guy who's protective of me like that. Like, ma'am, that's not protection. That's obsession. They may have ION at the end, and it may sound similar, but their obsession and protection are two different things. They are not okay. They're not the same. And even, like, hell, my partner doesn't even know my social security number. If I found out he did, I would probably ask questions like, where the fuck you find that out, right? Exactly. You agree with me. Shit's weird. And then the whole, I want you to live here and have a contract, which, yes, in the BDSM community, you can come up with a contract. They're not legally binding. They're usually just like for the both of you to understand what's okay and what's not okay during sessions. You know, you may not like write it down. You may discuss it, and then maybe you can discuss it through text if you'd like, or face to face. Anyway, as long as everyone understands everyone's limits and their draws and their safe, the safe word, the do's and don'ts, what's accepted and unaccepted in a fucking scene. That's all that matters, right? Okay, we're on the same page with that. Now, in the book, different story. I thought Christian Grey in the movie was terrible, just like how I thought that the movie version of Edward Cullen's, the fucking Flashpoint for our freaking romance situation right now, was bad. And he is bad in the movie when you think about it, right? He's worse in the books, just like Christian Grey. Christian Grey is worse in the books. Worse. Apparently, he's tracked her number a couple times. Apparently, he's also he ignored the safe word a few times. And our main character walks on eggshells around him, which, again, why was this book made popular? I genuinely want to know. Like, if you wanted some spice in your life, that's understandable. But don't make freaking problematic media that misrepresents the BDSM community your way to go, man. It makes me angry because, like, people already have negative perceptions about the BDSM community and what it holds because of 50 Shades of Grey, alright? It's not the only reason, but it's a good reason. It's a good base, right? It's terrible. Like, stop using us for your forms of romance. If you're tired of the vanilla, do your fucking research. Don't drag us down too, bitch. We're trying to live our life and not be fucking fucked over. God damn it. There we go. That's what I need. Like, it's like, why? Like, I've had people ask me, oh, you like that stuff? It's like, you like that 50 Shades of Grey? Like, no, bitch. I would fight you if you ever approach me like Christian Grey. I am not afraid. Throw hands. Over my safety, bitch. It's a little too thick, but we're rolling with it today. It's just, I don't know. I always just thought it was weird that people who were not into the community like that all of a sudden like, I love that stuff. Like, did you do your research about it first? Like, you don't have to. It's okay to take inspiration from a form of media. That's fine, but don't like risk your own health because of it. Okay, just it's fine. It's perfectly fine to be vanilla. I feel like people believe that being vanilla is bad, which in itself, vanilla is not bad. If that's what you like, is what you like, right? Ain't nothing wrong with liking vanilla. Sometimes vanilla can be relaxing, But you don't have to like take the plunge and do what your partner wants. People, remember that. That's because they want to do it doesn't mean you have to. Remember that shit. Live by it. Ingest it. Write it down. Take a picture. Do something. Shit. 50 Shades of Grey was not it. I've met people who got hurt trying to replicate what Christian Grey did in that movie, and that angers me a lot. Like, do not, and I repeat, if you're going to bind your partner down, do not use regular fucking rope, and do not use motherfucking zip ties. Okay? Just don't. You need to use what's appropriate for what you're about to do. Yes, you are correct. Do not do that. I have heard of people doing that and trying that. I've had people try and do the zip tie thing on me before. And I'm like, no. Why? So you can slit my wrist open? No. We're not doing that today. No sir. Like, before you dive in, do your research, stay safe. That's all you need to do. Stay safe before you jump on into the chaos. Okay, which actually isn't that chaotic. I mean, yeah, well, yeah, that too, but it's also because, you know, zip ties aren't safe to be used in that manner, period. They're just not. Um, that's a faster way to send your ass to the hospital. If you want to go to the hospital, be my guest. That's one way to do it. Select it, please. And I think one of my, yeah, okay, cool. That's what you mean. Good. I want to make sure we're on the same page here. I actually had one friend of mine. She told me that, like, I had asked her, I was like, hey, where do you get the rope for your scenes with your partner? She said, oh, I went to Home Depot. And I was like, that sounds like a weird place to get some rope for that. But okay, so I went to Home Depot. I looked at the rope and I'm like, I don't think this is the right rope. Something ain't right here. 2 + 2 make 4, and this is 7. this ain't right. So if you want to get that stuff, just go online and buy some stuff. All right, this is our girl, by the way. This is how she looks. She looks very bulky. I feel like I made her head a little small, but like her body type looks like this. Her clothing is just really thick. If that makes sense. Like her clothing, her body size is normal. Her clothing just looks really, really thick, and in return, it makes her head look a little smaller than it actually is. But if I make it any bigger, it'll look weird. Yeah, it's just the clothes. Okay, so you agree with me. It's just, yeah. Maybe I should move her head. I don't know. Something looks off and it's bothering me, and I don't know what it is. Wait, maybe it's some of the folds I have right here are off. Hold on, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. Maybe that'll help. I'm making her neck, the collar around her neck, I'm making it smaller. Maybe that'll help regulate the size of everything, because maybe that'll do something. I have no idea. Let's see. Wait, what is this? Okay. What is this line? Wait, are you here? Yep. I found the line I was looking for. Okay, I think it was because I made the collar a little too big. I mean, she looks bulky and thick as it is, and I almost forgot her weapons of choice. Merge that down. I'm gonna make another one around this side, because it kind of wraps down this way. Yeah, so the shells can wrap this way, and then yeah, making her. I'm gonna have to add her freaking. I said diamond. I'm stupid. Dagger, and this is the weapon that she's using. Her shotty, for those who want to act naughty. I use an actual shotgun for this image. I'm gonna actually delete it from my file. Just so I don't make my partner mad. There we go. I did that. But yeah, she has a put your ass down here. She has, you know, a weapon for cutting, a blade for cutting. You know, you always need one. Let me see. If you can't understand this amalgamation, I'm sorry. I can, for the most part. That's all I'm asking. I know, that's weird with me. And his came, okay, so like, the blade itself stops like right here. It's about right there. Yeah, the blade stops about right there. It's like, I think a couple, like half an inch before the actual tip. So. Aha! Look at our girl. She's ready for action. We know what a dagger looks like, right? Right. Cool. Now for the fun part. This beach. Mm-hmm. We're gonna darken that a little bit. Yep. And we're gonna give me your face. We're gonna merge this down. Cool. And we're gonna just. There you go. So I can see better. Aha. I had to make sure I'm on the right layer too, because I don't want to mess myself up. Okay. I just realized I'm about to freaking erase her fingers because she's holding the gun, right? She's holding it. So I'm about to erase her fingers. Actually, I could bring this up right here. I'm probably gonna end up drawing the whole gun just to like to use for later. So, because I don't really draw weapons often. I'm not a weapon designer, but I'm just kind of just probably just gonna do it for this one. Because again, this is actually based off a real shotgun. So, like the buck part. I don't know the names of anything on this weapon, so please do not ask, because I will start describing things as I think they function, okay? And we will both be looking stupid together. So... So yeah, don't ask me what anything does, because I won't know. I mean, granted, if you ask what anything does, like in general or in real life, I won't have a question. Well, I can describe it, like what it does. But if you ask me for names, I can't do it. Which is bad for me, because like at work or just in general, like I know how to do something, but I don't know the proper name for it. And if I don't know the proper name for it, and the person asking me does, guess who looks dumb? I do. So. But yeah, I feel like romance media is very, it's not very good with this portrayal of romance, or if it wants to bring up other communities, it just doesn't portray it well, at least in modern era. Now, when it comes to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Other forms of media romance, I'd say like, I guess comics or things like that are based around like 2D illustrations of characters. I feel like it does a pretty decent job, and it probably is because I'm a little biased. Because like I said earlier, I don't really watch a lot of things with actual human beings in it, like with real people in it. Mainly because I just prefer animation. Like I love animation with my whole heart. I love watching or reading rather comics that people make, like not a comic that was made by a company and things like that, like a comic written by actual everyday people like you, me, and everything like that. I love those, and the romance in those are usually pretty good. I love them. Some of them do have similar tropes and characters in there, but that's to be understood. But a lot of them, like, they kind of like flip the script on romance, what it is. Like, for example, one romance I'm reading, but it's on hiatus right now, so I'm a little heartbroken, is Brimstone and Roses. It's on Webtoon. It's for free. You know, it's free. That one is kind of like a love story between the demon and the human, right? And mind you, the human does not realize that she is in love with the demon guy. She summoned him for literally one reason. So she can like go on when she goes to her ex's wedding, she can she won't look lonely, basically. Unless you summon him, and in the contract the demon guy wrote, how am I gonna do this for her hand? Hold on, give me a second, guys. The demon guy wrote that she can't that he won't go away, he won't leave her until her heart has been fulfilled, whatever that means. That's what he said. That's what he said in his writing of the contract. And this girl, oh my god, in an effort to try and get rid of her demon, she ended up dating this guy, who was trying to. He had to deal with a demon, and he was trying to fucking kill her to save his soul. I'm not joking. It's a great series. Dark as shit sometimes, but it's great. And of course, you can kind of tell that her and the demon guy will most likely end up together. I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious that her and the demon guy will get together at some point in the story. I'm pretty sure of it, at least. But again, it's on hiatus, so I won't know until the show comes back or the series comes back. So I'm a little impatient here. I forgot how fingers work for a second. There you go. And in the story, he's saying show like it's a TV show. In the story, the main character does go through, like, she does fuck up a lot. Like, when I say a lot, homegirl fucks up a lot in this story. She does get, like, reprimanded for her actions, usually by other people, right? And she has a sister. They've had their qualms or whatever, and she has a habit of just jumping in. That's not how you hold a shotgun. I can't do hands today, bro. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, so she had to erase this part then. I can't draw hands. I don't know what's wrong with me today. We're gonna go to Google for this part. Yeah, you're seeing my history at this point. Women. Pose. Archive. Shotgun. Because I was using Pose Archive for this. And because they have some really good, like, poses and stuff. But anyway, so this is what I was looking for. This was the pose I was basing this on, and I, for the life of me, was about to cry. So she ends up, like, she ends up getting in trouble and reprimanded for a lot of her actions, specifically by her sister, which is great. And she does question herself a lot in this story, which I also personally love. That she questions herself, you know? Like, she knows she's fucked up. And she does try to, like, make amends with things. And the demon dude, he gets, like, some flashbacks and stuff. And he kind of starts falling in love with her, right? And I'm like, okay, when y'all gonna freaking call, like make it a fish, right? Well, they never do. At least not for now. Because, again, creators on hiatus. I wish them a speedy recovery because I'm having withdrawals. And I just like that example of the romance. Because even though the demon guy knows that he's realizing that he's in love with her and he wants a relationship with her, he knows he can't really be with her for long, right? Because he's a demon. He already had his time on Earth. But he still cares about her, and he does try to help her find the person for her, which I think is fucking beautiful. Like, he can't have her, and he's not like, well, if I can't have her, no one can. No, he's like, I want her to be happy, and in order for her to be happy, I can't be here anymore. So once my time is up, I will gladly go back to the demon realm and have my memory wiped of her. And I'm like, Not me crying because I want them to be a thing so badly. But I know that ain't gonna happen anytime soon. It's just not anytime soon, especially since she's on hiatus, like I said. So, but like, if you guys ever want to like read a romance story on like Webtoon or whatever, wherever the creator has the story being shown, could be other places too. Give it a read. Just it's really good. I promise. It's really good. The art is amazing. The creator has improved so much since they first began telling their character's story, and I love the direction of both the art, the story, and the characters. It's great. It's one of the few romance stories that I am actually a little upset that it hasn't like fucking it hasn't come back yet, because it's kind of like, it takes time. Something like that takes time. Now, another story that I was reading that's romance based that I'm having gripes with a little bit is Lore Olympus. Now, many of you probably know what that is. Great if you do. It's okay if you don't. But my gripe with that series, one, all the events that have happened, mind you, this story has been going on for like over, I think, 2 years now. All of the instances, like everything that's happened to our main girl, Persephone, because it follows the love story of Persephone and Hades in a modern setting, their romance has everything that's happened to Persephone and Hades has only been a fucking week, right? A week. That's it. And my issues with it have more to do with, like, I guess the depictions of Hades in the story. Well, not really Hades, but like how Persephone's portrayed in the story and some of the events that happened to her by other gods, which I get it's a modern day telling. It's just kind of weird. And the fact that there's such a major age difference between Hades and Persephone. Now, she's supposed to be like this new goddess or whatever. She's like a nature goddess or spring, the goddess of spring or whatever, which apparently Persephone's roots go deeper than that. He is like, I think like a couple 100,000 years old, I believe, and she's like 19. Like she's straight up just 19, which again is kind of weird on its own. My thing is, if they're gods, why is she like 19? You know, like Persephone's been around for a while. Why is she 19? Oh, she's going to college. She's young. Okay, but like, why is she 19? Trying to get with a guy who's hundreds of years older than her. You don't see how this could be a problem. And in the story, she's also assaulted by another god. And no, it's not Hades or Poseidon. Not even a little bit. It's somebody else. The person who did it, I wasn't expecting them to do it. I thought it was very interesting and kind of weird, but I mean, it's not the worst romance story I've ever read. That still goes to Twilight. I don't give a fuck. It's just kind of weird about his portrayals about some of the gods and how it discusses sexual assault, which I don't necessarily have a major issue when it comes to discussing sexual assault and how it's done, because when the scene happens, you get a warning for the episode that tells you it's coming up, which again goes back to my earlier gripe with 13 Reasons Why. The only difference is, in this instance, they don't even show it. Even though they say the warning, they don't show it. It's like what the artist did was she depicted how it felt, and it was like there was music playing, but it was very jagged, and it went from pink to red, and you could see Persephone's thoughts of how, like, this doesn't feel right. Like what is this? Do I just let it happen? Like, that's what it felt like, and I actually resonate with that. I understand that. I understand that feeling, sadly. So I I'm actually okay with them, or with her or the person doing it that way, because it doesn't show it. It just shows how you feel in that situation. Which again, I think is fine. I think that's an okay depiction. It's not bad. It's not a bad depiction. Um, but afterwards, when she starts telling other gods what happened. Eventually, as time progressed, um, which taking into account that everything, all this happened to her within like a week or two, I thought it was weird that like she opened up and spoke to other people about it like within a week. Maybe it's my own personal bias coming out. Especially since how the pacing has been going for the story, it feels like it's been like months, but no, it's literally just been 1 week. And it just kind of like threw me off. And since they're gods, you can't really tell what time of day it is, which also is another issue I have. I can't tell how much time has passed until a character in a story just says it, and then it's like, it's been that long. It's giving me 50 Shades of Grey vibes, because like they got engaged to each other and married within like a few weeks. Like everything that happened in the first movie, the movies and the books, all that was in like a matter of weeks. Like, not even joking. And she got pregnant like within like a month of dating this dude. It was like, bro, you sperm race in the Olympics? What the fuck is wrong with you? But that it's not, again, it's not the most terrible thing. It's just how certain things are discussed makes me feel uncomfortable, and then some of the rewriting or reinterpreting some Greek mythology is very interesting, because again, we've had modern interpretations of Greek mythologies. I'm looking at you, Hercules, the Disney movie. So it's like, I can't really get mad at that too much. I mean, hello, they fucking made Hades a freaking monster in the Hercules cartoon movie, and made Zeus a hero. Which, if anybody's read Greek mythology, will know that's a full of shit. Zeus was a fucking demon. We had his moments, I guess, but he was mainly like an asshole. Mainly an asshole. He just like kind of took whoever, whenever. He turned himself into a fucking, what was it, a boar? Not a boar, but a fucking, I think, was it a minotaur? Or did he make the, no. He made this woman fall in love with the minotaur. I forget the reasoning. It was really weird. She fell in love with the minotaur, and then her husband created this like, or not her husband, she had somebody create this like bull suit for her, because the minotaur wasn't gonna do nothing with a human. But since she put the bull suit on, she was like a bull. And yeah, you can do with that as you will. Fucking weird. Alright, that's our girl in this shot for the most part. I need to erase her freaking this part of her hand real quick. Alright, now we're going to do something. Now that I have her sketched out, we're going to do something. We're going to freaking have a layer underneath her real quick. Boom, crackle, lackle. And we're going to take this, and I'm going to actually, yeah, this one there. All right, so so when I'm automatically selecting her, and since it's like this, that's telling me I have open holes in her midsection, her wrist. Actually, I need her gun too. That's what I need. That's what I put the back. I need this part too. I'm gonna merge. Let's try it again. Yep. All right. Now we're good. I still have an opening right here next to her thigh. Oh, God. Yeah. Let me close this real quick. All right. Try this again. And I'm gonna doop. I'm not trying to do that. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm trying to go right here. Thank you. Why did I do that? I keep messing up. What the hell? What's going on? Invert. Thank you. That's what I was trying to do the longest time. And now I'm gonna fill her with, I guess, this color for now. We're just fill her with this. Yep. Huzzah! That's our girl for now. I was doing a lot of scratching of her, like I'm using a different brush. It's this one. It's a default Procreate brush, and I've been using it because it adds texture to the drawing, and it also, the weight variation is really really good. I like it a lot. So yeah. And I think I want to give my brain a rest from drawing her real quick, because she looks really fucking good. I won't even lie. Like, she looks scrumptious. Oh my god. I love it. And this brush is also like really good for like just shading and stuff. Like, this shading style makes me think of comic books. Like, her art's, like the style of her and the pen I'm using makes me think of like a comic book. And I'm referring to like US Western based comics. Well, specifically just American comics specifically, because I have not really seen um any comics from other countries that like are in Europe or whatever. I don't know if their comic thickness for line art, I have no idea what it looks like, so I have nothing to go by. But is the scratchiness that I'm applying is giving me very much US Western style comics like DC and things like that. Not really Marvel, but like DC. You know? I wasn't expecting it to come out this good like this. I won't even lie. I wasn't expecting it. And this is just iteration 1. I still have to draw other iterations of her body. Um, so she will have a different gun type in the other iteration. So, yeah. Let's bring out her other body, shall we? I'm gonna get rid of her head. Yep, that's her body. I'm gonna add some more scratches to her as well. Right here. I'm gonna stop. Stop it, damn it. I'm gonna group this, delete that one, and I'm gonna call this, we're gonna call this group Sketchy. I named it Ketchup. Sketchy. There we go. The name Sketchy. If you guys have any questions on how to do anything, just let me know. I'm not afraid of teaching or sharing what I do now. I'm gonna put a new layer inside of Sketchy, actually. And we're gonna use blue for her sketch, to sketch her skin. So for this one, for this iteration of her, we're gonna probably go with the trench coat look. Ah, it's below it. That's why. That's why it looks weird. I'm gonna go back to my rough liner, and we're gonna do a trench coat for her. That way she, of course, it's gonna be like tatted at the end and stuff, because again, she's canonically dead. uh, trench coats have like We're gonna have her sleeve rolled up though. For the trench coat, just one of them. And then we're gonna have her sleeve rolled up right here, exposing this scar right there. And you can kind of see her trench coat back here. I gotta pick a different color. This color's too dark. I'm sorry, y'all. I usually just do red. I don't know why I'm not doing red today. Alpha lock, fill, and then turn it back off. Okay, now we can all see. We're all on the same page here. Great, awesome. This is mostly just like my thought process of how I do things. About an hour and 37 minutes. All right. I guess for this, in this instance, she could have her dagger out right here, little hilt, little handle protection, right? And then her blade would be like really long, but it's gonna have like the teeth, right? And her blade is a plasma blade, right? Because in this universe, she's holding like the blade itself. I just thought about that. Oh my god, girl, don't hold the blade. Cause like her hands on the hilt. But there you go. And since she's holding the blade, holding the dagger, the little hand protecting part will be like right here. This is just really, 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 really rough. If you hear people in the background, that's my partner and my little sister. She came over. And we're gonna just do this. Point it. There you go. Right. So I'm gonna have to look up actually like better blade ideas later. Can I help you? You can look. They don't want me to look at her try. And there she goes being dramatic again. Wow, you guys are gonna do me like that? I show y'all my work all the time. Y'all just look or act disinterested. Yeah, okay. You hear this? You hear this chat? You hear this? Family drama. Did you say I really? Okay.
Go ahead and tell your fans how much you don't like us.
I did not say that. I don't not like y'all. I show y'all my art sometimes. Y'all just seem disinterested.
Oh, she is so lying.
I'm not lying.
She is lying.
I'm not lying.
Lying. You say I don't like
There they go, freaking getting scary again. I guess in this instance, for this weapon, she will be holding a, probably like probably a sniper or something. In this instance, and snipers are really weird. They have like the really, really long point, and then they have like a scope or something like up here, whatever. Again, I'm about to like look up actual guns and shit for this. And I'm not gonna do that on stream because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know what's deemed appropriate. Fully yet. We're still figuring out the ins and outs of how this works. I'm gonna name it Snipe. That's the kind of gun. It's a snipe. Let's see. So for this one, she had bullets on her body. But she's going to have, I guess I'm still going to do the bulletproof vest part. But actually, let me give her a shirt first. Like, we're going to give her a shirt first. Probably a button-up shirt or something. That, like, goes into her pants. And then the vest would be on top of that. Where the fuck did the vest go again? Yeah, that's right. It's like this. And then it kind of, like, comes over with this, the vest protects all of this, and it's very bulletproof vests are very bulky and thick in nature. So her shirt is gonna like appear at the bottom of her vest, and it's gonna like go into her pants. Actually, nah, her shirt's not gonna go into her pants. Her shirt's gonna be hanging out of her pants. Correct, cause she don't give a fuck about nobody. She don't give a fuck about anybody's feelings. She's on a mission, and if you get caught in her path, that's on you. That's you're the one that didn't move in time. I guess that's all on you, chief. She still be wearing the baggy pants because that's kind of her. That's a part of how she is as a person. Most likely we'll keep the. We probably won't keep the knee pads and shin guards. She'll probably just wear the baggy pants, and then she'll have like probably some high ass boots, but right here. Yeah, she'd have some like high boot spot right in this area. Again, I apologize. None of this makes sense. Well, as in like you can't decipher what I'm like how the coloring works. Um, it's just how my brain operates. She's gonna actually have a pistol about right here. So similar, so almost the exact same spot as her her blade will be her pistol. It'll be in almost the exact same location. So I actually forgot how a gun is holstered, how it looks. So we're gonna guess right now. So we're gonna just go like pew pew. I know it's a terrible holstering of a gun. I'm just gonna write the word gun because I don't know what this is supposed to be, but we're just gonna write the word there so I know what it is later. Let's see. And I guess I could give her some wrist bandages instead of gloves this time. She wears wrist bandages, but like she wears bandages like on her hands and stuff. Because when you're on the run and you're hiding out as a Reaper, you can't always afford like freaking, gloves and shit. So bandages it is. And her homeboy is a freaking doctor, so that's where she's getting these medical grade bandages from. You know what I'm saying? And I just realized I made her cross-eyed a little bit. Nothing wrong with that, but she's not designed to be her eyes are not designed to be cross-eyed. They're supposed to look pretty much in your face. Recents, guest link. There you go. They look more like they're staring at you. Even on the other one, her eyes look a little far apart, like she's just kind of thinking something else. Here's what happens when you copy your eye over and don't fix the corrections afterwards. That's exactly what I did. Yeah, I'll figure out her boots later. Her boots are really simple. There's nothing too difficult about that. Let's see. Let's draw another layer on top of this one, and let's give her. Let's do the trench coat first. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Her trench coat does have a hoodie on it, so it's like a very big coat. I do like the idea of her having like a jacket of some sort that also has a hoodie on it, so that way she can like cover her face if need be. Let's see. She has like. There you go. And then she has like cuff sleeves right here. Because of her trench coat. She does roll her sleeves up. She's very much a showing off her arms kind of character. She worked hard for it, That, and it's just like she doesn't want to get it in the way, so she just rolls them up anyway. So makes her life easier for the most part. Let me turn the opacity down for her body so we can all see better. Alright, and then we're gonna just like follow this. Yeah, we're gonna just follow that through. Alright, we're good, we're good. Then we're going to bring this back around because yes, it's a hoodie. It's still like has stuff, right? Ah, you don't need that line right there. Stop it. I also was trying to take into consideration her outfit, like her body shape, the whole how shapes play a role in how we perceive a character, and curves and angles. So since I want her to be perceived as like she's very much a character who will like she will and can kill you if you get in her way. Like if you are aiding the person she's after to put herself at rest so she can pass the fuck on, she has no qualms with putting you to sleep permanently. But I also wanted to factor in the fact that she's very much she has her limit, right? She will not harm a child, at least not on purpose. She does harm one child in the story, and the child does die. She shows great remorse for it because the child just got hit by a stray bullet. That's all it was. The bullet was aimed for the parent, the guy who wronged her, and the child was right there instead. And she even goes to the child's grave and said, "Hey, you know, you don't have to forgive me. You don't even know who I am, but." Oh, my mother is calling. 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, hold on a second. Hi guys. I had to go away for a second. Um, family, ain't that right? But yeah, I'm just gonna just finish her cloak most likely, and then I'm probably just gonna call it even for the day. Because I am getting hungry, and I made her vest a little too high. Also, if anyone notices and watches this VOD later, um, even though I spent all this time making her body look great, you're not gonna see it for like most of the story. She, because she's fighting for her life. She's trying to, she's on borrowed time, right? And I was thinking of her outfit of function over like function over fashion, essentially. Like, I didn't want her to look extremely sexy or whatever. Like, she's an attractive character. She's not like not bad looking, like by any means, But I didn't want her to be like, you know, sexy. I guess if that makes any sense. Because to me, just having a character who has to get her revenge to be put to rest, or she doesn't have to get the revenge, honestly, but she feels like that'll ease her and make her soul be okay to pass. Um, so she doesn't become a shade. I kind of like, I'm thinking of function over fashion. Because I just feel like it makes more sense to design the character or function, especially if they are in a battle setting or if they're action based. It doesn't seem right if it's just straight up what's the word I'm looking for, a sex appeal. Like it feels weird if it's just that. I don't understand that thinking for designing a character who's supposed to be their whole thing is combat. But I can't speak for everybody. It doesn't seem right to me. It seems weird to me, at least. I have friends who disagree, but that's the great thing about people and opinions. They're like assholes. Everybody got one. Some people's are shadier than others, but her cloak. Right here. And her pants are still very like she still wears like what my partner called them. He said they're called combat jeans. He's a vet, so I don't know any of this crap. I just draw that. And this is where her pants and boots collide. And we're gonna just like, so we're gonna just bring it back down here. And then we're gonna just like, probably just gonna end after I do her pants. After I do her cloak, I mean. Yep. Pretty base, it's a pretty simple, basic design idea I have for her. I was thinking about giving her a hat at some point. Probably won't. I don't think the hat would go well with her design anyway. So I'm gonna copy her body one more time. Duplicate. I'm gonna lock it because I'm gonna probably do one more iteration later. Not here though. You guys won't see it. Which is fine. You guys won't see it. It'll be for my own pleasures off screen. It sounds really weird saying it like that. I apologize. I don't mean to make it sound creepy, but such is life. I'm gonna just erase this part and this part. Ooh, I'm 1 minute away from 2 hours. That's my quota. Let's go. And yes, the scars for the bullet wounds that's on her stomach, her chest, like her stomach, her chest, and her neck. That's where the guy killed her. He shot her. First, he shot her in her stomach. Then she was scuffling with him a little bit. Then he shot her in the um. Then he shot her in the boobie, right? And she was kind of on the ground at that point, and she's asking him like why, and he said, basically just said, I'm tired of you. We're over. You didn't get the message or whatever. Even though he never told her they were done. His wife found out he was cheating. Mind you, the character did not know he was still married to his wife. She knew he was married in the past. They were still friends. They were going through divorce, a public one. All of the comrades knew about it. She was like she was there for him support wise. She's had other relationships in the past. She's even been married before. She was married before she became a bounty hunter. Her marriage didn't last long. Her partner was not the best. They were emotionally abusive. So she kind of like left that person. And she became a bounty hunter like a year later. And so she understood what he was going through. Then he and her got intimate, and they had relations with each other. Still butt heads, but and then his wife got a higher position in power, and she was like, "Hey, I'm finna be the high councilwoman." He's like, "Oh shit, we going to counseling. I'm not finna divorce you now." And yeah, that's exactly what happened with him. He ended up staying with his wife. His wife did not know he was cheating. Imani, our girl here, did not know he got back with his wife because he didn't tell her. Somebody on their squad found out about the truth, told the wife, because they wanted to get back at Octavius because he's a fucking bitch half the time. And the wife told him, "You either take care of her or I take care of her for you." And in his brain, that meant kill her. And that's where he took her to a picnic and shot her 3 times. Yeah. Octavius is a whole hoe. Honestly, if he would have just told Imani from the beginning that I'm getting back with my wife, Imani probably would have been like upset. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, after we've been doing things, you get back with your wife, and it's like, oh, well, she's a woman in power. Imani would have been like, oh, okay, well, shit. She probably would have honestly left the group afterwards, which is why no one went looking for her, because they thought she had left the group. Nope, he murdered her in cold blood. Didn't even give her a chance to fight back. So now she's back with a vengeance, and she's not taking any BS from anybody. And we're gonna bring up her face one more time. I actually did fill it in with color. Hold on. Alright, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. That's gonna be it for today. Oh, my screen's cooking. Oh, don't tell me it froze. No. It froze again. That's tragic. Because I'm rotating my screen. It's not even picking me up anymore. Don't you hate when that happens? What? My screen stopped mirroring, apparently. Cancel that. I don't know when it stopped mirroring, and I apologize for anyone it stopped mirroring on. But basically, I'll I'm pretty sure y'all heard what I was saying. Why are you black now? I know my pen battery is low. Okay, anyways. Um, that's not to do it for our girl Imani for today. Um, yeah, this is kind of her character sheet so far. I'm not sure which design I'm gonna stick with. I'll probably finalize the second one and then get back to it. Again, my connection issues have been acting up all day because of the weather, so if things have gone in and out or things are lagging and you can't see what I'm talking about, apologize. I can only do so much on my end because I cannot control the internet. I'm not a god. But yeah, this is our girl Imani so far. Next stream we'll probably get to Hanako, our executioner. Either Hanako or Octavius. I'll put up a Twitter poll and I'll have the different characters up. I'll have the Doctor, Shane. I'll have Hanako, the executioner, who's hunting Imani. I'll have a continuation of Imani if you guys want me to do that, which is her. Naomi is the wife. So yeah, those 4 people are like the main, are the main cast of the story. And yeah, I'll put up a poll for you guys on Twitter. It'll be up for the rest of the week. I'll probably take it down or probably close on Tuesday. So yeah, Tuesday night. That way I have time to plan and figure out how I'm gonna structure these characters. But yeah, that's gonna do it for you guys. I hope you all were able to sit back, relax with me a little bit, chit chat. Yeah, it's gonna do it for me, guys. I'll see you next time for most likely on a Wednesday, and even in a bonus, if the weather is actually okay tomorrow night, you may see me again, but who knows?